Sorry guys, I had to adjust my camera because I put on this cute little blue top to match my eyeshadow, and you guys couldn't even see it. You can't even see the whole thing, but at least you could see a little on my shoulders or whatever. So yeah, what I'm gonna start off by doing is showing you guys the Huda Beauty palette firsthand. Oh my god, this palette is so pretty. So let me give you a little background before we start. So yeah, this is the palette and it came out in November. So I saw a picture of this palette like a week before it came out, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of criticized it because it is all pastel colors. It kind of felt like this whole too good to be true type of thing. I'm a big fan of pastels, but I know that because they're so light, it's a big possibility that the eyeshadows could come out chalky. So I kind of was like, this ain't gonna be anything nice or whatever. It turned out to be that eyeshadow palette. Let me just tell you, I think this is like probably my fave eyeshadow palette from 2019. But the Huda Beauty palette surprised the shit out of me. I'm gonna open it up for you guys so you can see. Excuse the dirtiness, sorry. I've been using it like crazy, so it'll be a little messy. This is the palette, and these colors are insane, you guys. These colors are crazy. So I'm gonna read them off to you. The pink one here is called Cosmic. Straight down is Utopia, Ultraviolet, Nebula, Mercury, and Haze. And that's all the first row here. And the second row starts off with Off Balance, Galaxy, Libra, Crash, Momentum, Supermoon. That's the second row. And then the last row would be Vortex, Hot Mess, Supernova, Karma, Gold Glitch, and Frazzled. So that is the palette in the front. This is it in the back here, and it has all like kind of like lavenderish accents, and it's just all the pastels, you guys. The pastels are just, I can't stop looking at this eyeshadow palette. I'm extremely excited that I was able to even buy it at the time, because this one was the most expensive one that they've released. I think this one was $59, and I think it was worth the money. I really liked it a lot. I'm gonna do some swatches for you guys. So you remember at the beginning I was very critical of the palette before I got it because I thought that it'd be extremely chalky, as we can see on my eyes, and I'm gonna show you some swatches. That is not the case with this palette at all. It is extremely pigmented. So to start off, I don't know if you guys could, whoa. Woo! Oh, the shine of it all, the shine. Oh my god, this color is insane. I love this freaking color, and it's kind of like this it's not like the textured shadows like the ones in the rose gold palette that Huda released. This one's more on the creamier side, so it's easier to just The next is Utopia. You can see a little bit like this. So Utopia is more of a peachy color, and I think that it's perfect to start off as a neutral shade to kind of like, I guess, put on top of your concealer or whatever eyeshadow base you use to start off as that. But do be aware that it's not a beige color, it's not white, so it is pink. So if you're gonna do a pink eyeshadow, it'd be a great base. The next one is Ultraviolet, and this is literally ultraviolet. I'm gonna switch to my hand. I don't know why I started at the palm. I should have started here. Ultraviolet is insane, you guys. It's sparkly as hell. It literally is ultraviolet. It's sparkly as hell. It gives me cosmic vibes. Like, so I don't know if you guys follow Huda Beauty, or if you're like a fan of hers, or you've noticed her things in the past, like her Instagram and stuff, but when she posted the promo video for this palette, I kind of was disappointed because I was like, you could have done so much more. Like, this palette is probably the greatest palette she's ever released in my mind. And I know that the rose gold one went like viral. I have the rose gold one, but when I saw this one, I was like, this is the best palette hands down. This caters to someone like me so much because I love these types of colors. And to see that she did some like corny ass alien promo, I was like, it's kind of corny. I don't really like it. But looking at the names now and kind of comparing it to what her vision was for that promo, I understand now why. Before, I was kind of like, I saw like maybe like cloud vibes, like Greek goddess vibes. I wanted to do a tutorial with this specific palette, like inspired by the music video with Karol G and Nicki Minaj, Tusa. And I thought that that was the type of vibe that she should have done her promo with, like Greek goddess type stuff, and like, you know, like in the clouds, pinks, lavenders, blues. So when I saw the alien shit, I was like, no, but I get it. This is OD cosmic vibes, like, so I understand where she came from. So these two colors may look similar on camera, but there are different shades of purple. Here is ultraviolet, here is nebula, and nebula is kind of like a lighter purple shade. I would definitely use this to cut the crease. Like, after I cut the crease, I'll put it in as like a kind of sparkly base. Mercury. So these three to me are like the face of the palette. These are the sparkly galactic ones, and Mercury definitely takes the cake with that shiny ass blue color. I actually use Mercury here at the end. I really have not. This is Haze. This to me is innovative as hell. That color is the most beautiful color to me in this whole freaking palette, and it's because I haven't seen it somewhere else. And it's also blue, well, in the shade of blue, and it's also really vibrant and different and beautiful. So I definitely love that color. This right here is Off Balance, and I'm noticing a bit on camera that it looks darker than it is. Off Balance is a little bit of a lighter pink shade. Ooh. So between Off Balance and here, Utopia is peachier, as you can see. Off Balance is really pink. It is a little lighter looking on the palette than it is on my hand. But I love this because it reminds me of this Marvelous Mauve lipstick that I have, that is my favorite lipstick of all time. It's a liquid lippy from Sephora, and it's surprisingly amazing. Haven't found a color that I love as much as that color. Like, I use a bunch of different types, but that's always my go-to. The next color would be Galaxy. That is a pretty color. This seems to be kind of a rose goldish color when you put it on. It looks gold here, but when you put it on, it's a rose goldish color. So for those of you who didn't get the rose gold palette and you kind of wanted it for the glitter rose gold, maybe this would be a good alternative for you. I'm running out of fingers, y'all. And the other color that I love from this palette, that is the most beautiful freaking purple. It's called Libra. First of all, my favorite color is not purple, so I know purple curtains. I know I went crazy for the purple Libra color, but I'm loving pastels lately, and the blue and the purple, the peachy color, these pastels look amazing, and the pigmentation for these colors, they just drive me freaking wild, and I just love it. I love it so much. The next one is Crash, and oh my god, I think I'm gonna have to get makeup wipes because like I don't have enough fingers. So I'm back. I took off the makeup that I had in my hands, and I got a makeup wipe, and I'm actually gonna start putting them here because I realized that I could just literally, I don't know why I was switching hands and doing all that nonsense. But the color we were up to was Crash. And a bit of an observation, I'm starting to notice that the colors, the way they look here, don't always look the same when you put them on. I know that that's the case for a lot of eyeshadow palettes, but this one has a significant difference, and one of those colors would be Crash. So Crash, I don't know if you can notice here, maybe on camera it looks a bit of like maybe pinkish. Crash is, in person, it kind of looks like a brownish beige color, but when you put it on, it's an even darker pink, so be mindful of that. The next one is the most destroyed one because it has the most glitter. This is Supermoon, and I'm surprised at how much pigment I was able to get out because it's kind of flickering everywhere. I really like this color. It reminds me of the color textures from the Rose Gold Huda Beauty palette. The only thing I don't like is that it's really difficult to put these colors on, but then again, that is the, I would say, the texture of the shadow, and they are trying to be a little different, so I'll give them a pass for it. And it is like, if you know how to deal with it a bit, I'll give it a pass because it is highly pigmented when you use it the correct way. It's just that it could be a little difficult putting it on top of concealer without, I would say, a base. I know sometimes people do eyeshadow without setting the base first. This may be a little difficult for you because your concealer will move all over the place while you're trying to pat this. Also, it's easier to use it with your finger and not a brush. I wouldn't recommend using a brush for this. And even when you put a powder on top, you have to be real careful that you're patting more than you're moving your finger, like you're doing patting motions, because this is kind of difficult to deal with. But when you get the hang of it, when you've used it enough, eventually it becomes, you know, kind of easier to use. The next color is Vortex. This is a really dark purple. And by the way, the name of these like the colors in these palettes, really well thought out, because this really is like Vortex. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Sometimes I see palettes and like the palettes, the names are like ridiculous. Like, I don't know if you guys like pay attention, but like, because I'm like not only a makeup lover, but like sometimes I buy shit just to collect it. And I'll read the names and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. But this is a really well thought out like actual palette. Hot Mess, and it's also another pinkish color in the palette as well, just like Crash. It looks a little more maroonish on the skin. The next color is a color that I have not used, so I'm really sad that I'm digging my finger in here giving you swatches right now. It's called Supernova, and it's really pretty. Not anymore because I stuck my finger in there. So Huda calls these her textured shadows, and it's because they're creamier shadows that are meant to be applied with your finger and in a different way than regular shadows would be applied. Again, I think the wording is perfectly, like, it goes perfect with this color, but it is kind of a more pinkish bronzy rose gold color. Love that for us. Karma is just a regular pink color, nothing too crazy. Glitch, and Gold Glitch is just a regular goldish color. It's one of the textured shadows, so again, it has to be applied with your finger. And lastly, we have Frazzled. And sorry if you guys can't really see them well. I've actually never swatched anything before, so my hands look crazy right now. This by the way looks really nice. Like, these colors together would make a really nice like smoky eye. So yeah, the colors in this palette are extremely beautiful. The names I really love. The actual packaging was awesome too. I don't have the box anymore because I did buy this in November, but the box was just basically the same front and back but in a cardboard version, and it was a bit reflective just like the palette is. I'm really, I don't know, like I wanted to make this video because I felt like this palette was kind of slept on. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did hear somewhere that this was the most sold palette the Huda Beauty has sold. So I'm kind of happy for that, because that means it really wasn't slept on. But I mean, in terms of like attention, when something drops, like for example Modern Renaissance or what dropped that was insane, James Charles palette. I'm not gonna compare it to Conspiracy drop because that was like a legendary drop that, you know, broke records and stuff, but I'm talking about like the James Charles palette, the Modern Renaissance palette, those type of things. When they dropped, I saw them everywhere on my Instagram. I saw them on my recommended for makeup videos. And you know, I don't really go towards looking for reviews. They show up based on the people that I follow on my YouTube, or they show up based on the people that I follow on Instagram. But for some weird reason, like, I really had to go looking for reviews or looking for, I guess, reactions of the palette and things like that. People weren't really talking about this in November, and obviously I know why. It's because the Conspiracy collection dropped and everyone went nuts about that. But I did feel like it didn't get enough love, and it should have gotten more love to me, because it's an incredible palette and it's extremely versatile. You can use it for so many different things. I really love the way this looks. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. I'm stupid, but it's so pretty. But to talk a little bit about the look I did, because I don't know if you guys can see it as detailed. I'll start off with talking about the first shade on top here. That shade is going to be Haze. And what I basically did was applied that all over the lid and blended it out with a blending brush. Then afterwards, I cut my crease with my Too Faced concealer that I showed you guys in my previous video that I normally use. So I cut my crease with that, and then also with an oval shaped concealer brush to kind of get the crease effect. And once I did that, I went ahead and used Supermoon, that beautiful, beautiful white color here. So that's Haze, and this is Supermoon. And I used it with my fingers and kind of blended it out on top. And like I said earlier, if you're using it without a base and you're just putting it directly on top, it can get a little messy, but I think I managed. Got a little bit all over the place, but I managed to make it work. And then finally I used Mercury, which I feel is the color you guys can see the most. But I used Mercury right here in the outer third of my eye, and I basically placed it at the end of where I cut that crease, blended it out a bit. I also used tape on the ends here of my eye just so that I could get that sharp effect. I really like getting sharp eyeshadows. It helps my eyes look a bit bigger. And then I also blended out Mercury and Haze here at the bottom and put on some mascara. I don't try to mess around too much with eyeliner. Maybe I will sometime this year. My eyes are really tiny, and eyeliner doesn't come out the same on my eyes as it does on other people's eyes. So I try to stick with what would, I guess, accentuate the shape and also the size of my eye. I try to stay away from eyeliner, but I do like it. I try to mess with it a couple of times. We shall see if I do something with eyeliner this year. I probably will. Alright guys, that has been a review on the new Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. I'm saying new, but it's 2 months old, whatever. Semi-new eyeshadow palette. It retails for $59. I did mention that earlier, but I wanted to close off with that just in case you were interested in getting it. I will leave a link in the description for the Sephora website in case you guys want to go and check it out and see if you're interested in purchasing it. Also, thank you so much for the love and support on my first video that I posted 2 weeks ago. I've been a little lazy and procrastinating doing another video just because I finally have some time off, and all I've been wanting to do after work is like sleep and chill and do nothing. But now that I'm in front of the camera again, it kind of feels like, yes, like we're back, we're doing it. So I'm really hyped to be here and giving y'all some content or whatever. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to SlayedByK.C here on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Keep up with me. Come see what I do, see how I live. Let's go, let's do it.